Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave original. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. Also, guys, we have merch, 20% off through December 1st. You can get yours at therighttimebomani.com, therighttimebomani.com. We got a lot of NFL to get to, but first, I don't even know if right now what I'm about to discuss actually qualifies as being the NFL. Like, it's obviously a football topic, but I'm looking at the way that people are charged up about this. It's way bigger than football, apparently. It's way deeper than rap. Shedeur Mania has officially arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, it is here. Kevin Stefanski's worst nightmare just took place. And this is what the worst nightmare was, okay? It was a combination of factors. Shedeur Sanders plays. He does not play especially well, but he has a couple of big plays, a couple of good plays, a statistical line that looks decent, and the Browns win. All worst case scenario. Now you're asking yourself, why are these things the worst case scenario for Kevin Stefanski? Number one, this team is bad and probably long run is better by being worse. So, like, every win, I'm not exactly sure how they do in terms of him saving his job or whatever, but they're not necessarily best for the Cleveland Browns. And I think Stefanski, I mean, on one level, he's swinging for his job. On the other hand, they may have told him he's going to get to keep it, in which case, be sorry and let me get another quarterback. Okay, cool, right? That's not what you want. But that combination of factors that I just gave you means that we are officially in the midst of Shedeur Mania. It is here. This is, I don't want to call it the same as Tebow Mania, but I will say this about Tebow Mania, and I think that this is an important distinction to make where I say that we're kind of in a similar stage, okay? Tebow Mania did not start with his first start. It started with the first game that he went into, which was different than what happened with Shedeur, because the first game that Shedeur went into is because Dylan Gabriel got hurt. No, the Broncos were getting their asses kicked. I think it was by the Chargers. And John Fox said, fine. He took Kyle Orton out the game, and he put Tebow in. Now, I am firmly convinced that the reason that John Fox did that was like, watch, this will shut him up, right? Let me put this bum out here and watch what happens. And what happened was the Broncos started to mount this furious comeback, and they didn't win the game, but they came back and they got close enough that it made it virtually impossible for them to not start Tebow the next game. And they did start Tebow the next game. I am comparing that Tebow performance to this first one for Shedeur, because look, the first one that Shedeur got into, like, come on, man, there was no chance there, right? I'm comparing this to that one because it wasn't like Tebow was great in the course of that game that I described, but they moved down the field and they got some things done, right? Shedeur in this game had like the big pass to Bond where he rolled right, threw off the back leg, got the ball down there. Okay, cool. But he got a 66-yard touchdown where he threw the ball about 18 inches.
Right, exactly. A lot of what the Colorado stuff looked like. And just to compare, in Tebow's first win, he went 13 for 27, completing for 161 yards, 2 touchdowns to win the game, 18-15 in overtime.
Yes, and that was against Miami, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you were right in the Chargers. He comes in the Chargers game. They lose by 5.
Yes.
Right. So he starts the next week and they win in overtime.
Yeah, but he was bad. Like,
yes.
I don't remember if I've told you the story that I did around the horn that day, right? Now, after that game, I hit a guy up that played for the Dolphins now, who is now a coach. And I asked him, I said, so what'd you say on Tebow? And he said, matter-of-factly, worst quarterback I've ever seen, right? He was like, hey, we lost the game, but that's the worst quarterback that I've ever seen, okay? Which, by the way, Shedeur Sanders is not the worst quarterback I've ever seen. That's an important distinction also in this. However, I do around the horn the next day. I believe it's me, Woody Page, Bob Ryan, and Tim Cowlishaw. and we go around, in the circle on the conference call where everybody gives their thoughts. And everybody, Woody, obviously, he was in Denver, so he had his one vantage on it. He's like, hey, we got a little something, got the people going. The vibes off of Bob Wright and Kalishaw were kind of, every white man deserve a chance. And these are guys I like. I want to be clear. They weren't doing this from a standpoint of racism, but this is the world we live in, right? They were just kind of like, yeah, I thought it was bad, but not so bad. And it got to me, and brother, I was flabbergasted, gobsmacked, I tell you. I couldn't believe what I was hearing because I was just like, it's the worst quarterback I've ever seen. I couldn't believe anybody saw anything other than the worst quarterback I'd ever seen. Oh, my God. And that led to a good 2-3 months of them putting me on TV on Monday to lose my goddamn mind on TV in front of God and everybody. I just couldn't take it. You just find all kinds of clips with me with my head in my hands, just can't believe what's going on here. And they keep winning. It just keeps going. I can't understand what is going on here, right? And I was fighting against it. I felt like I was fighting against it. You know what, man? I think I'm going to say this to Shedeur, to the fans, everybody. I'm going to say this perhaps on behalf of the people in my line of work, man. Man, let's just get this money. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get this money. Is there a peaceful way for us to get this money, Ryan? Because this really gets the people going. I will never understand how Shedeur Sanders, of all people, became inspirational to folks. That is the most mind-blowing part about this, is the idea that this is a feel-good story. I don't get that. I don't get the investment that people have in him. None of this makes any sense. But it's here, we there, we might as well just get this money.
I think a lot of it comes from people feel, I think the Shedeur hive feels aggrieved of that he got, of the perceived lack in his draft stock and the fact that he went in the 5th round. And then I think he has become one of the most shocking underdog stories I've ever seen.
There's a difference between
the shocking perception of an underdog I've ever seen.
Yes. Let's say so. Then I want you to stay on screen with me because I want to know if you feel where I'm coming from on this. Okay, there is a difference between being an underdog and not being that good.
Correct.
Though, not being an underdog in the way that we talk about this is oh, he's not actually that. I don't even know how to say.
Brock Purdy is an underdog.
Yes, I think that's maybe a better way to put it. Cam Ward is an underdog.
Correct.
I think that's the distinction that I'm looking for here. Cam Ward, former 0-star recruit for West Columbia, Texas, who goes to Incarnate Word and then goes to Wazoo and then winds up at Miami and becomes a Heisman finalist and becomes the number 1 pick in the draft. That is an underdog. This guy who has had a whole slew of advantages and the greatest advantage at all, a father with the power to be able to become a coach at all these places to shepherd you through to get to the point where you get to the NFL. This is not an underdog story, right? They don't make rich underdogs, right? I don't think Tom Brady is not an underdog story. He went to fucking Michigan, all right?
Is Josh Allen an underdog to you?
He's a late bloomer.
Okay, that's a good distinction.
Right. He is a late bloomer, but it's hard to be that big, that strong, that fast, that everything.
Is Baker Mayfield an underdog?
Kinda, yeah.
Here's my favorite, and I apologize if this makes you upset. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I do not.
Is Jalen Hurts an underdog?
Huh. Another interesting case. He's another very highly touted recruit who
went to Alabama.
Yeah, and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He just has a ceiling on his talents, right? I think that's where this gets to be fun is an underdog apparently is whatever you want it to be.
Right.
Right? We could turn anybody to Brock Purdy, underdog. Brock Purdy was an all-conference quarterback in college.
People made Steph Curry out to be an underdog in the LeBron versus LeBron James and talk about, father with lots of advantages growing up,
Yeah, but the thing I would say about Steph in terms of that, where he becomes an interesting underdog case, is none. He was so small when he got to college.
Right.
Like if you watch the college version of Steph Curry, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, and he went to Davidson. He
Yeah.
did not play high level AAU basketball, so there was access to certain things, but the application was very, very interesting. But yeah, let me tell you the best example of this. I don't know if you remember this, but it was in 2010, the first year that Calipari was at Kentucky, and Kentucky played against Cornell in the Sweet 16.
Right.
And the argument was that Cornell was this team of underdogs playing against a team with Eric Bledsoe, who, as I recall, spent a significant portion of his high school life sleeping in a car.
Yes.
But he was a 5-star recruit.
Right.
And it's like, who's the underdog? The Ivy League kids or John Wall, where I met his high school coach, it was like, yeah, you go to John's house right now, you'll see his mama hanging clothes on the line. You know what I mean? Like, who's really the underdog here?
Right.
And it gets weird. It's difficult for me to put Shedeur as being an underdog, in part because clearly a lot of people are betting on him. Right? There's clearly a lot of people that are on this. I think it's great for him that he got a start in the NFL and that start went as well as it did. I think it worked out well for him that he got to play against some bums, and it made everybody so mad with the Raiders that they lost to the Browns that Chip Kelly got fired.
Right.
Yeah, it was like, hey, man, dude, that's the first Raiders game I think I've watched like for real, because I watched a lot of that game. Hey, man, Geno Smith about to lose his mind up in here.
They're bad.
They're bad. They had 10. I mean, the Browns sacked them 10 times.
I mean, it's just like the kind of sacks where you we're not exactly, football X's and O geniuses. And you're just like, is that guy supposed to block Myles Garrett by himself?
Right.
Is this person I've never heard of going to take on Myles Garrett?
Yeah,
who's about to break the sack record before
like,
December 1st?
Like, so you're guarding Jokic.
Yeah, exactly.
You're 6'4". Like how is this happening? And so good for Shedeur. I mean, he did not play poorly, right? You don't blame somebody. Like, he got the touchdown pass. It's the touchdown pass. It's what it is. But it's going to look better on paper than it did in application. He looked like he made some pretty good throws. Like, he absolutely should be starting next week. See, that's the other thing for Stefanski. It makes it very difficult to defend the way that you have dealt with Shedeur and the way Dillon Gabriel has played after that game. Like, no matter what is going to happen when he goes back and watches the film, and he can probably parse and point out more errors than the layperson is going to be able to under those circumstances. But you're going to have a hard time explaining to people why it was that you kept Hawaii 5-9 out there and didn't play Shedeur after that game. It's going to be tough, right? Because I don't really see it, to be perfectly honest. Like, he said he's going to wait and see who's going to be the starter next week. No. Let me tell you right now, Shedeur's going to be your starter next week. I mean, I could be wrong here, but if Shedeur is inspiring the people in the streets like this, I bet he got some people in the locker room there, and they just won that game, and you're going to have to look at them and explain why you're going to go back to Dillon Gabriel. Nah, sir, that's not going to happen. Shedeur's going to be your starter next week.
Yeah, football players aren't interested in this tanking. Like,
no.
Like, no. And here's the thing: like, if he goes out there and beats a Bob Saleh defense, I mean, they've got a bunch of injuries on that 49ers side of the ball, but that's playing a real defensive coordinator, and they're fighting for playoff position.
Yeah.
So this is another real test to see what he's got.
Yeah. No. You got to play him. Like, that was the thing that happened with Tebow after they had that comeback against the Chargers. You got to put him out here. Whether you like it or not, you're going to need to make peace with this, right? Because us over here, we're going to be getting this money. And we're going to be getting this money by talking about this a lot. And I swear, I don't know if it's just the internet giving it to me. People is not trying to hear about your Dillon Gabriel right now, brother. Just telling you right now, they're not trying to hear it. I will tell you, however, what I'm not trying to hear, which is another word that Shedeur Sanders has to actually say out of his own mouth. Ryan, somebody needs to explain to him that all these things you just need to stop. I'm trying to show these people that I'm what they've been waiting for. Just play a couple of games, big dog. Bring it down. He was talking about how I grew up in a 30,000 square foot house, but my daddy took me to the hood to get that dog in me. Son, you played in 5-figure watches. Like, this is not like if I mean, let me tell you, he took you over there to get that dog in here, but he didn't leave you there.
Yeah.
I bet he kept his eye on you. Like, I don't. Hey, man, just keep going. Just. I'm here to help him right now in this. Just keep going. You got a good start here. You might be able to start for the rest of the year, right? You might be able to. You might position yourself well for the quarterback controversy that's going to happen next year, right? Like, just try to keep Dylan Gabriel off the field.
And
But
you get to play against the Titans,
you do.
the Bears.
Yes.
Oh God. Ugh. Yeah, he's got to play the Bills and the Steelers.
Yeah.
And then he gets a free one against the Bengals when they're all good,
He does. He does.
at the end of the year.
Be cool, baby. Be cool. That's all I'm saying. If you can be as cool about this as you can, this can work out for you. I think it's best for him to leave Cleveland if he wants to play somewhere. Like, I think you're positioning yourself for a future that is not for the team for which you play right now. I also know that Cleveland is consistently a cluster. There's no telling what Jimmy Haslam thought after that game. There's no telling what Andrew Berry. Big difference between the two. Andrew Berry made the trade to go get him, right? So there's some level of belief that's there. Can you imagine the group text, the conference call, whatever it is between the Cleveland Browns brain trust that they're having about this?
And speaking of places where he might end up, he might be looking for places in Vegas.
He could, but they need to go get a real live quarterback too.
But people might think he's a real live quarterback after that game.
They might, but I don't know if Pete Carroll is one of those people. I think Pete Carroll is going to go back and watch that film and curse out his own guys.
Yeah.
Right? And so let me tell you, buddy of mine was at a bar. He said, oh, yeah. They got a bind. My good buddy Corey Erdman, he's a Browns fan for reasons that don't make any sense.
That's incredible.
He said last week there was, and this is in Toronto, but he said last week there were 7 people at the Browns backer bar. Today it was absolutely packed. 2 80-plus-year-old men came out for the first time this year because they said it was the first time they felt hope in a while. It don't matter. The football part barely matters, guys. Like, let's get this money. Shedeur Mania, baby. Let's print out these T-shirts. Right, let's just ride this out. I don't even know if I don't need to have opinions about this anymore. I've stated how I feel about him.
Let's just have some fun.
I'm going to give him credit when he plays well. I'm going to be honest when he does it. But in the meantime, tween time, the best kind of fun, the kind of fun where the black people and the white people might start fighting. And by the way, it's not just the black people and the white people. It's the black people and the black people who send me texts about it because they don't want to talk about it in front of people because it's getting just a little bit dicey out here in these streets. Nobody wants to be called a rodent. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Nobody wants to be like, oh, you be ruffling through trash in the dumpster. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants that. But let's just get this money, man. Let's just get this money because otherwise it's gonna drive me crazy. Speaking of being driven crazy, I'm so glad I don't root for the Eagles.
My gosh.
That was embarrassing.
Yes.
Because I watched, it was 21-0. And it just looked like they was waxing them. And so I went to go check out what was going on with the Browns. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I needed to have some eyeballs of what was happening with that game. I come back, it's 21-14. The Eagles suddenly can't move the ball anymore. The Cowboys are chipping away. I saw Aubrey miss a field goal. I'm like, oh, it really ain't the Cowboys' day. And they won. Like, I mean, the Eagles had some, like, what did they muff a punt? I want to say there was a Saquon Barkley fumble.
Right.
Like, it was that
it was snatching defeat from the jaws of victory in a way that I haven't seen. I mean, they haven't blown a 21-point lead in over 25 years.
Yo, man,
that's their offense just turns off in a way that I can't remember seeing from a contender.
They were squared up against the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation is like, hey, make a wish. And the Eagles were like, nah, we good. We straight. Couldn't do it. A.J. Brown got his 100 yards receiving. I guess that was good for him, but nah, bruh. And Jalen Hurts And
Text
look,
I
man,
sent you at 5:18 p.m. Eastern time.
yes,
Cowboys defense is making A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith's dreams come true.
yes, they were. And
Yeah.
then not really so much any after that. And I want to make sure that I get this right. By the way, Jalen Hurts had 289 yards. They were really handling business in the first half, but they could not run the ball. And that is, look, the fundamental story about this team is that if you want to play the way that they are playing, you got to be able to run the ball. Like all the receiver guys, they all got their money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got their opportunities. They got their stuff. Let me go find the quote that Hurts gave, or it was the headline that I saw on ESPN.com. And yeah, the phrase that jumps out, let me control F and make sure I get to it because I'm like, oh, buddy, you can't do that. Here we go. Quote, we've got to own this one. Let it light a fire in us as a team and stay together and move forward. Brother. I don't think you need to be talking to people right now about lighting a fire because they want to light you on fire. Even though this wasn't your fault in this game per se, I don't think nobody wants to hear that from you right now. Like everything that we're hearing at every turn is about how people don't want to hear this from him.
Right.
Like
For better or worse. He can't be the messenger.
He doesn't want it. And see, the thing about Philly's interesting. I remember when the NAACP wrote that letter about Donovan McNabb telling him to get it going. And I was like, damn, the NAACP.
I did not know about this.
Oh, yes. I forget what, I think the criticism was that he doesn't run enough. They were just like, yo, you need to tap into your roots, basically, which is, a little shaky, and get out there. But yeah, the NAACP of Philadelphia put out something about Donovan McNabb trying to light a fire under him. You looking it up? You seeing it? You see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes, this really, it be your old people sometimes. And this is the thing about Philadelphia and black quarterbacks or black coaches or whatever it is. It's the ones from out of town that'll put on their cape for you. The local ones turn to white folks when things are not going well because they want to win just like white folks do, right? And that's Philadelphia for you. We will not be here to save you, brother, in Philadelphia when this goes down. That's what I'm telling you. And here's how crazy the Eagles season is also, Rod. I told you this yesterday. The Eagles have the biggest divisional lead in the league. This is after losing a game to the second place team.
Correct.
They are by far going to win their division. Nobody else can say this.
Right. And they had the 1 seed until the Rams had that beat down last night too.
Yes. But this is the second time in 3 years that, and by the way, they're 8-3.
Right.
Let me be careful and clear. But this is the second time in 3 years that they've had a team where it just feel like it ain't right.
Right.
Now, the last time they had they suffered from a stunning epic collapse in 2023. Of course, they just came behind that and won the Super Bowl the year after that.
They went to the Super Bowl, had the epic collapse where they played against the Bucs, and it looks like they all quit out there.
Yes.
They win the Super Bowl, and then whatever we're getting this year. And I mean, they still got to play the Bears, the Chargers, and the Bills. Like they do not have an easy road towards the next 2 months.
Ryan, what a weird everything. Do you know Nick Sirianni's career record as a head coach?
I think it's something like 46-21.
56-22.
Yeah, you see all the stats where it's like he's got like a John Madden-esque winning percentage. Like he is like if you just look at the numbers, he's one of the greatest. He's 56-22 with a Super Bowl. Like it's the same start of the career that Jimmy Johnson had.
Yes,
without the bad first year.
Yeah, with 2 trips to the Super Bowl.
Right,
with 2. And correct me if I'm wrong. The first trip didn't go to overtime or something like that. It was a super close. It wasn't overtime.
No, they kicked the field goal right at the gun.
Yes. But and none of us believe, dog.
Yeah.
None of us believe. None of us see it. None of none of this. And I just watched that. And the Cowboys look really thrilled to move their way up to 5-1. Is that where they have gotten themselves to?
Talk about let's get this money. Cowboys just staying relevant right before they go play the Chiefs on Thursday.
Let me tell you, ain't nobody saying let's get this money quite like that boy George Pickens. George Pickens looked amazing in that game.
They have to keep him.
There's Well, look, Jerry didn't get them to not keep them, right?
Correct.
The question is, what language are we going to use in this paperwork to protect us from the invariable regression that's going to come once he has already got his money?
And it's also like the classic Jerry Jones of he is a very great big time receiver. He is also going into a contract extension that we are going to delay until probably August 25th.
That is correct.
And he is a ticking time bomb of being unhappy before and after he gets this money.
Or just being weird, right?
Correct.
Just being one of the two, man. What a weird Sunday of football. So I'm looking over here at this, and the Chiefs, who looked terrible in that first half against Indianapolis.
Looked terrible in the third quarter, too.
Looked terrible. They somehow managed to get that. And look, Mahomes doesn't look good. Like, I don't know what's going on, but he specifically looked bad. This was not just a matter of, he's Patrick Mahomes, but the team is da. He looked like a big part of the problem in the course of that game. But Indianapolis, man, the Chiefs said, beat us, Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones was like,
no, thank you.
I'd love to, but just don't think I'm going to be able to get that done for you, fellas, right? What other weirdo game did we have in the course of this? The Lions.
Yes.
Brother. That was not, hey, Dan. Nah. It ain't going to be that. Mike Kafka, apparently he didn't want to be the coach of the Giants because he lost it with that one. I didn't think it was a ridiculous idea to be up 3 and to go for it.
Right.
Short. And I think Greg Olsen has talked about this with the change in the kickoff rules that, like, you're giving them back the ball on the 35.
Right.
In all likelihood, if you kick it off, you might as well.
If you go up 6, going up, taking the field goal to go up 6 does nothing for you.
Yeah. Well, you might as well try to win the game. And
right.
They did not. And look, the Lions tied it up on like a 59-yard field goal. I don't care if it's indoors. I don't care if it's 20-25.
That's never a gimme.
Yeah. Like no. And over here, those of us who root for America's team, we're like, no. By the way, Jameis, see you, big dog.
Yeah.
See you, big dog. And hey, it's vibes. It's making everybody feel good. It's vibes. Tampa Bay, they got a problem because I don't know how long it's going to be. Like Baker, it's the other arm that he hurt. He's got a sprained left shoulder, but he down bad. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, they are now tied at the top of that division.
I believe. Let's just take
the
this.
Carolina Panthers, much to my surprise, are 6-5.
Yeah, they're both 6-5.
Who knew? Right?
Both with negative point differentials.
Yes. And by the way, the Eagles' point differential is something like plus 33, being 8-3. Like,
yeah,
they are
30 exactly.
Yeah, that's right because they lost.
Yeah, it's 30.
They lost the game by 3 points. They are low key, just not really that good.
Right.
But they're not bad.
Yeah.
Like, they literally defy explanation. I don't have any answers for you on what to say they are or they are not. But you can't live like that. You know, I think that's just the way that I look at this situation. Like, you can't live like that. The Bears, another squeaker win.
Yeah, 8-3, negative 3 point differential.
And Caleb Williams with another good enough. Like, our guy Nate Tice wrote a very interesting article for Yahoo about how the Bears offense has actually been explosive and Caleb Williams has actually been really good. But nothing in these numbers says that to me right here. But like his QBR, the advanced QBR one, is very high for the game. He had 3 touchdowns. He had no interceptions. He only had 7 yards in attempt. I don't know how you reconcile all of these ideas, but they all come together, and we are hurtling toward November, December to remember, because I got no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what it means that your record is whatever your record is. Like, I have no gauge on what anybody truly is in this league right now, who's actually good, who's not, none of it makes any sense to me. None at all. But hey, guys, this is what we have. This is where it's going. It should be a lot of fun. And hopefully Shedeur Mania doesn't just make it all stressful. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many, especially as your athletic season gets busier. This November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out. Check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. Just as it can take a little courage to send that message or grab coffee with someone on your team you haven't seen in a while, reaching out for therapy can feel difficult too, but it's worth it. And it almost always leaves people wondering, why didn't I do this sooner? BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and our 12 plus years of experience and industry leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recs. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is one of the world's largest online therapy platforms, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Bomani. That's betterhelp.com/Bomani.
All right, two quick stories from the weekend. Lane Kiffin's decision is, kind of what hovers over college football. Ross Dellinger reported that LSU is preparing nearly a $90 million offer. He's also still considering Florida. The Ole Miss athletic director came out and said they will make an announcement on his future after the Egg Bowl on Friday. Bo, what are your thoughts?
Just messy. He's just messy. Like everything about him messy. And I got a question for Ole Miss, where they're like, we're going to announce his decision after the Egg Bowl. How do you know you're going to announce the decision after the Egg Bowl? You're dealing with Lane. Like, do you guys have a decision that you're going to make? Are you going to fire Lane Kiffin after the Egg Bowl? Because that's the only way that you get to say that you will make a decision. What, did Lane make an agreement with you that this is what we're going to do? Because
A
we're going
week
to
is
take
a
Lane,
long time in college football.
especially for somebody who doesn't seem to like think stuff out or
Right.
have, like, forget about college football. A week is a long time in the world of Lane Kiffin. Like, what are we doing here? What is this in total? And I gotta say, this is where it gets interesting for me. I'm not that old-fashioned, but I totally understand the people who are raising the question of how could you do this when you have a team that's going to the playoff, right? How can you do this with the best team in the history of the school? And I think that this is different than, for example, Brian Kelly being the coach at Cincinnati and then leaving to go to Notre Dame before it's all done, right? Um, this is one that you kind of ride out. Like, you got a team that could really make some noise here, and you may never get back to this place again, knowing you. You kind of got to wait till next year, right? Like, that's my thought in this, is that this is not necessarily the time for you to make that move, but there are two jobs that are available that we have all thought were excellent to have. I'll just make the point that you at the job you have had the last couple of years have looked better than the coaches at those jobs. And say what you want about Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is not a bad coach. Maybe you could say he did not work it out, but Brian Kelly, I keep saying, people get mad at me, but he's a Hall of Fame level coach. You could probably get it done where you are. Like, this has the great potential to make Lane Kiffin look really, really, really bad. And by the way, and I don't know if the committee would do this, but if they wanted to, if Lane left, the committee could leave Ole Miss out of there.
If it's close.
Yeah, just like, hey, you're not the same team that you were. And the problem that Lane has is Lane can't do this like Urban Meyer after the 04 season or other examples of guys that we've seen who get to work out the job. And then that's not going to work making a move within the conference.
Right.
Right. Nobody's going to let you do a commercial. Like, Ole Miss is not letting you do a commercial for Florida or LSU for the rest of this. Right. I am just reminded at every turn just how much I hate this person that I don't know. I can't stand him. Everything about this. He has he the only one that would just lean into how messy this is at every turn. And it didn't have to be this messy. It doesn't. To me, you'll know how messy he is if he goes to fucking LSU. And Ryan, no disrespect, but you know how messy that situation is right now. Like, you add his mess to your mess, I don't think you're going to like how that goes.
I can't imagine. There is no situation where this goes great for like we are going to make an announcement on this day is going to make a lot of people look bad. It's almost like we had this very famous example about 15 years ago about we announced this very famous decision. And Lan Kiffin is the only person in the universe who'd be like, that's an awesome idea. Let's do that.
Right.
That went well for everyone involved. Let's do it exactly that way.
We have all this noise surrounding this when he is so obviously the spiritual successor to Steve Spurrier. Like, if you're going to do this, Florida is the place for you to go. There's no question about this. And then Spencer gets to deal with him. And that'll be fun to watch. Can't stand this moment.
So your three options are he stays at Ole Miss, which you've stated your feelings about that university.
Yes.
Spencer has to deal with him.
Correct.
Or I have to deal with him.
You and Van, yeah.
You and Van have to deal with him.
Yeah, you guys are gonna. I don't know if anybody's gonna be happy with the way this goes in the end. Like, they'll be happy at first, but I don't know how happy they'll be in the end. And by the way, all these criticisms I have of Lane Kiffin, it ain't that easy to go find another coach like him. He just gets to be forever young. He's 50 years old, and we still think he's just this close. He's just this close.
And how's Ole Miss going to feel? Like, you're going to do this every year? You get dragged along like every.
So that's the other issue, right? He's clearly people don't. That Ole Miss job is weird. Should be better. Is not better. We all know why. Right? Like, I think that's the best way to put it. It should be better, is not better. We all know why. But you're right. They're going to drag. It's going to be like this all the time. I would just also like to point out that for all this hullabaloo, they've beaten one good team this year. And that was Oklahoma. That's the only good win they've got.
All right, one quick story. The internet went ablaze on Friday as the mayor-elect Zohran Mandami for New York City went to go meet with President Trump and seems to have won him over. Let's take a quick listen.
Clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Yo! That was an amazing Friday. Thursday, Trump is like, the communist is coming. By the end of it, he's like, my son. Right? He likes him so much more than he likes J.D. Vance.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna tell J.D. Vance to ask Zohran how he keep his beard like that. That was top to bottom the wildest thing. Now, I think people were a little too surprised at the fact that they could figure something out. They have a thing in common. And look, no matter what Zohran is saying in public about a lot of these establishment Democrats right now, okay? Zohran and Trump got one major thing in common. The people that don't like Zohran also don't like Trump. Like, they have a Venn diagram overlap of the people with whom it doesn't work that well, okay? Now, clearly Zohran right now is on a honey greater than vinegar tour, right? Like, he's saying nice things about Hakeem Jeffries. He made the move in there with Trump. And by the way, didn't back down off anything he ever said about Trump. But I think he went in there and was like, hey, man, I'm from Queens. You from Queens. These the people that hate you. These the people that hate me, right? Kind of like that scene in The Wire where Avon and Marlo meet in jail. And Avon is talking about, but it's West Side. Fuck these East Side bitches, right? Like, there's the common ground, right? You West Side, I'm West Side in this case, Queens. But you Queens, I'm Queens. You don't like Hakeem Jeffries? I don't like Hakeem Jeffries. You don't like a whole list of them. Think about this, man. They played Zohran like he was Arafat. He showed up to meet with the president, and they took a vote to be like, we, the Congress, say fuck Zohran and everything he stands for, right? Like they took a vote to condemn social. Who has this kind of time, right? Like, what are you doing? So he goes in there, he meets with Trump, and I think Trump, he's like, yo, I'm a man of the people. You're a man of the people. You and I talked about this. Trump likes people who present well on television. Like he has a real recognized game on that. He sees that about Zohran. Zohran's like, why would I come in here and fight this man? You know what that'll get us? The National Guard. That's what that'll get us. No, I'm going to go down there and talk to him and be like, look, man, you say you down for the people. I'm down for the people. Let's get down for the people. And Trump is like, get a load of this guy. Okay, I see what time it is. And here we are. How long will this last, though, Ryan? That's my question.
These honeymoon phases are always quick, but Trump is consistently impressed by a few things: being good on TV and telling him and finding nice things to say about Trump.
Yes. Like, I think people misunderstand something. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe. But you do not, there's no value to Zohran to go in there like raising hell with Trump in there. No, Trump is easy to game up, right? He is we've seen his playbook for 8 years and change, right? And he just went in there.
I mean, this is as much the Apprentice playbook as it is the presidency playbook.
Yeah. Dude, he just went in there, and I've never seen more people just stunned and shocked. Zohran got game, man. He goes in there with all these people. Now, of course, Zohran's in this place, and this happens with everybody that's like him. It was going to be the case whether it be Bernie Sanders or anybody else, which is you can't fight them all at one. You can't take on all the fights at one time. And what that means as a result is now this is going to get a little bit more towards center because it has to, right? Zohran represents a base of people who, by and large, never get to win anything, right? So you largely are idealistic about everything that you feel, but that's not how this government actually works. So once you get on, now you've got to do some of the things, right? And now we're seeing that, right? The thing that's going on with Chiosei, who wants to run against Hakeem Jeffries. And look, that's complicated for me because that's Combat Jack's son, right? Like, that's what it's going to be first and foremost to be. We'll get to the rest of it. But the Democratic Socialists, they their own little clique, right? They got somebody who from the outside try to come in and use their network to go run up on this other guy. And Zohran's in there and was like, hey, I don't know if we can get away with this one right now, dog. I don't know if we can, play. It's going to get really, really weird. But if you're the Democrats, Donald Trump is getting with the wave. Y'all are calling the wave a commie, right? Democrats, the only people I've ever seen be like, hey, man, it's a wave. We don't want no parts of that.
I was waving away.
Hell no. Even Trump was like, yo, get a load of the wave. Where's my board? Yeah, man, I see what the big deal is now. Couldn't believe it. Wildest thing I'd ever heard. I'm all over the place on this. We'll talk more about it later, but it's gonna be a very interesting first 2 months of Zohran in New York City. And I think you and I, Ryan, you said it on here before. You said it already. Job one, keep the National Guard out. Because if you go talk to people about what's going down in Chicago right now, it is insanity what is happening there. I think Zohran's like, hey, man, let me give it a try first. Like, let's see it. He's like, I got this. Trust me. Watch what I do. Watch what I do.
All right, Bo. Voicemail line's open. We got a appearance from one of the greatest hits. Let's take a listen.
Hey, this DJ Mike Hitman. I got a question. Since I'm on the right time with Bomani Jones, I'm putting my name in the candidate running for president for 2029. I'm making everything right again. I'm going to make America better and understand it. I'm bringing smoking back for men can smoke in the bar again. Men, if you want to smoke in the bar, I'm bringing it back. Vote for me, DJ Mike Hitman, bring the smoking back. Now, it's your choice if you want to smoke and die, but I'm bringing it back. Women, you're allowed to wear short dresses again and have sundresses again. Ladies, if you vote for me, I'm bringing everything back legalized. I'm running for president for 2029. I wish I had my Jerry curl. I would be flat, but I don't have no Jerry curl. I just got grease. P. Diddy, I'm taking the baby oil and rub it back on my head again because I'm running for president. I'm bringing everything back. Everything gonna be legalized the right way. Fellas, you can drive a Cadillac with the TVs back in it. Okay, ladies, you could go back shopping again and spend other people's money, even your own man or your mistress. It don't matter. I'm bringing everything back the right way. Bo, you need to hit me up. You need to get your producer. All y'all be my candidate. Stop putting money in my pot. I'm going to run for president for 2029. I'm going to be the first president on the west side of Chicago. Step in and party. We're going to bring everything back and make it right. If we can make weed legal, we can make everything else legal. And Nancy Reagan will agree with me. Have a good one, Bo.
Are we going to have a special election in 2029, Ryan?
Trump, Zohran, DJ Mike Hitman.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. You get a Zohran Mike Hitman ticket, that will be unstoppable. I am dead ass when I say that. Like, how do we get Mike and Zohran in the same room? Somebody call Pablo. He out here kicking it with Zohran. He can help make that happen.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, Bo, this DJ Mike here, man. I got a question. I need to be on your show. Just give me, I take 15, 20, 30 minutes. Give me an hour. I want to talk about these boys spending these other people's money gambling. I know the whole detail. I can go behind the scenes to give you the whole thing. They give you that news report and stuff. But the man on the street telling me different things, Bo. You need to get me on the show. And I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to be nice. These boys is gambling in debt, spending other people's money. I know the real story. I know why they doing it. First of all, the NBA must ain't paying these boys. Or must ain't getting them a good pension. Come on, Bo, let's do this. We got a new commissioner. Soft as a whistle. He's soft. I think I should run for commissioner. But, Bo, hit me up and let me come on the show. And I got some stories to tell you, too, Bo. I got some great stories in Chicago. And when I went to Mexico, I got some great stories. You need to hit me up, Bo. Talk to you, Bo. Have a good one.
I will say this, Mike Hitman is NBA commissioner. That's what we need. We need an NBA commissioner in a fur coat.
Yeah, that would change some things. All right, here's our last one.
Hey, Bo. It's Gary. I'm here in Atlanta. Long-time listener, huge fan. The episode where you were talking about Nico Harrison, putting Nikola Jokic and Drew Holiday in the same tier, it got me thinking about a time where I had a buddy of mine. He kind of did the same thing, but it was with football. So back when we were working together part-time, he went to high school with Jake Fromm. So we're all around the same age. And when Jake Fromm got drafted, whatever year it was, fourth round, fifth round, I remember texting him and I was like, oh man, this is great. I'm glad he got drafted. Hopefully he makes the team. And Bo, this man proceeded to tell me, and I quote, I don't know, man. I think he's going to beat out Josh Allen for that number one QB spot. Yeah. He really said that. And Bo, he meant it. Like, he really, really thought Jake Fromm was better than Josh Allen. I wish I was making this up. And you see where Jake is now, selling insurance, which is fitting given his name. And yeah, I just wanted to let you know that story because to this day I still can't believe he really said that to me. And to add a little sprinkle on top, this is the same man who is also a diehard UGA fan. And leading into the SEC championship the year LSU won the whole title, he was telling me, LSU fan, yeah, man, I think we got a good chance to beat y'all today. I think we're going to win. And Bo, with no hesitation, because we were on the phone. I told this man, I said, I'm not afraid of Jake Fromm. I'm not. And you can ask Ryan about that stat line because Ryan probably remembers it. So, yeah, he loves Jake Fromm. That's his boy, but he did not want to come to the realization that he wasn't that good. Because, like I said, he's selling insurance now. So, yeah. Thanks for everything. Love the show. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. Now, to be fair to Jake Fromm and your Jake Fromm loving friend, when Jake Fromm joined the Bills, it was right after Josh Allen was throwing Hail Marys to square bodies in the playoffs. Like we hadn't had a proof of concept yet on Josh Allen at that time, but hey man, we all gotta be a fan of somebody, right?
To be fair, the person he might have been talking to was Kirby Smart. So
that's totally on the board. That's the guy that loved his with Jake Fromm. Good gracious. Like, my thing is Kirby always is still an element of Saban 1.0 to Kirby, right? Keep it close, run the ball, quarterback, don't mess nothing up. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this 4 times a week. Now, this is Thanksgiving week, so we're going to have one more episode for you this week. Then we'll be back with 4 next week. Ryan Brumley handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Hit the voicemail line, 323-596-7767. Remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.